It seems like you just have this incredible affection for wind, whatever sport it comes with.
Yeah, wind and water are a great combination. I basically grew up playing with both of those. Was lucky enough to somehow find a career path that included them. And they're two elements that, for what I do, are incredibly three-dimensional, always changing, adaptable. I've been able to sort of evolve my career through the decades, playing with wind and waves in different ways, whether it's windsurfing and all those aspects, kiting in its various aspects, going into foiling and SUP and whatnot. But wind especially is it's one of those things you can't control. It's always changing. It's a variable that it's tangible, but not really. And it keeps things interesting. It's an environment that always challenges you. You're never going to perfect it, no matter how much you practice. Doing what we do, you're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to get the unexpected, and it keeps life interesting. Being able to make a living doing that, basically being a kid and playing and getting up and falling down and learning something new and falling down, and again, being in an environment that's so safe. If I were an extreme athlete in any other sport, I would be long gone. My body would have fallen apart ages ago. I fall into the water, at pretty low speeds from relatively low heights, and until pretty recently never even hurt myself. Knocked my teeth out, lots of cuts and bruises, but minor things compared to almost any other sport. When I broke my pelvis kiting 3 years ago, that was the first real injury I ever had. It was a bad one, but it took a long time to get there. If you're a skateboarder, a motocross, freestyle, you could just name almost any other sport. That is almost a guarantee, that kind of thing, and often. So yeah, wind is a great element to be able to be creative with, especially when water is the element that you're falling into. So I'm pretty lucky.
Well, you say falling into water, but you've been windsurfing and kiting at Jaws for quite a long time. But
just a lot of water.
Yeah.
Sometimes a wipeout in a really big wave is easier than a wipeout in a smaller wave, because you just become part of this mass of water. And there's some violent tumbling and turning kind of at the end of it. It's more not being able to breathe. The wipeout is fine. You're not going to get ripped apart. It's just sometimes really wishing you could get a breath earlier than you can. My only close call at Jaws was just being held down so long that I almost blacked out, and that sucked. I don't want to do that again. But otherwise, big waves and water are sometimes just this methodical, almost, everything slows down, and it's calmer than wiping out in a double overhead wave where you get pounded and bottom violently, busted off the bottom. And so yeah, big waves are sometimes not so bad, other than not breathing. But now we've got the air vests, and the airlift from Quicksilver has made a massive difference. It gives you at least a semi-false sense of security, which is a good thing, especially when you're 56. So
it's a difficult question probably, but if you look back at your career, do you think there was one pivotal moment, whether it was when you were a kid or whatever, that set you on a path for kind of what you've achieved today? And perhaps if there was that day that you hadn't gone out or hadn't taken a certain bit of advice or won a certain competition, was there one particular thing? It's probably difficult.
Yeah, fortunately, I've had probably 1,000 of those points through my career where I went left instead of right, that led me to another opportunity, another whatever. And I think it's a lot of being in the right place at the right time, a lot of living my life trying to keep doors open, a lot of being stubborn and selfish and really appreciating the lifestyle that I have and doing everything possible to try and somehow maintain it and keep it going. If you had to go all the way back to where it started and how it started, beyond my parents giving me the opportunity of living in Hawaii, my dad deciding, okay, I'm going to move to Hawaii, I love to surf, and I'm going to take the kids there and move the family there, and taking that risk. That was it. That started it all and gave me that opportunity. Beyond that, probably my first world title in the Bahamas just kind of started everything rolling. But even before that were things that led me there, that gave me that opportunity. So yeah, just good people around me, and good family that let me follow my dreams. I don't think a lot of parents would have let their kids do what I did. I flew off to the Bahamas when I was 13 by myself in 1976 to go compete in the World Championships. There's no way I would let my daughter's 12, even if she was a boy, it'd be hard pressed to let him fly halfway around the world back then with no cell phones. Like, I was just gone. So yeah, just a lot of luck, being in the right place at the right time, and a lot of luck.